G'day, my name's Marshall. I'm from MM4x4. I'm going to give you the first look at the automate, which is installed in the Challenger. So automate's controlled by a little LED switch. It's mounted to the A-pillar. As you sit from the driving position, you can see it's quite discreet, and it gives you, at the moment, it's flashing because the transmission isn't warmed up. So it's letting you know that the unit is working, and when the transmission gets to temperature, that will stop flashing. To turn the unit on and off, you just simply push the LED button. It's a short flash and now it's off, and then push it again, longer flash, and now it's back to flashing to let you know the transmission's not warmed up. I'll just take for a short drive now, and then when the transmission's warmed up again, I'll show you some more features. The transmission's now warmed up. So currently the car's in drive, and you'll notice that the indicator shows first gear. So behind the scenes, the car is actually in sport mode, and automate is going to control the gear changes. The LED being on is telling you that you're actually in drive mode. It also works if you go across to sport mode, and you'll notice the LED is now off. So as you're driving along, if I switch to drive, so the light comes on, and as I go between drive and sport, you see the indicator still stays at 1. So that's how you know if you're in automate mode, where the computer's changing the gears for you, or you are in sport mode, which is equivalent to lockup-mate, where you can either use the paddles or just use the normal shift. So what I'll do now is I'll take off, and I'll hold the camera so that you can actually see the gears changing, and you'll just get a feel for how it's operating. And then I'll do this similar with the automate turned off, and you'll see how much slippage there is by watching the RPM. So at the moment automate's on, we'll just take off. There we go, 4th gear. It holds 4th gear at 60. It doesn't go in the 5th. No slippage in the torque converter at all. Alright, so this time I'll take off with the unit off, push the button, back to drive, so you now know the unit's turned off. So you can see it pretty well holds the same RPM. It's changing gears. Now if I turn automate on, see it'll change to sport mode and selected 4th gear. As you slow down, you see it changes down through the gears, and you'll notice that there it's changed into 2nd gear. Now normally the transmission goes from 3rd to 1st and never goes into 2nd gear. Automate will actually stay in 2nd gear, and as I accelerate away, through the gears. So it's quite responsive. So I'm doing at the moment it's about 52, and I put my foot down a bit, so it changes into 3rd, and then back to 4th as I've taken my foot off. Some of the other features is that it automatically dims the LED if the headlights are on. So at the moment the headlights are on. If I turn them off, see the LED goes brighter, and that's so you can see it in the daytime, and dim at night so it's not glaring. Now, say you're driving in the daytime and you do want to be able to see the LED well, you can override that by pushing and holding it for about 3 seconds, and you'll see it's now bright. Or to toggle back, press and hold for about 4 or 5 seconds, and it's back to being dim. Automate also integrates with the paddles, so I'll put it into sport mode first by just clicking a paddle. It's now on 2nd, we'll just go back to 1st for takeoff. And now I'm changing up through the gears, using the paddles to change gears. Now you heard the revs drop in, that's the torque converter locking up, so from this point onwards, the torque converter is fully locked up and there's no slippage, no heat being generated. Now, change gears and to say fifth the speed, it's too slow for the torque converter to stay locked. What you'll see, you go fifth gear, so the unit will actually flash its light, just letting you know that the torque converter's unlocked, you should be changing down a gear. So we'll just quickly do that. There you go, torque converter's locked up and it's happy again. And to go back to automate mode, the way you do it is you have to go back to sport, back to drive, and then it's back in automate mode. So it's automatically changing the gears for you now. Another feature of automate is when you take your foot off the accelerator, it will unlock the torque converter. So if I do that now, you see the revs will drop, and if I slightly touch the accelerator, it relocks the torque converter again. This is the same behaviour that the factory computer does. There's one exception though, and that's if the transmission is actually getting hot. So if it's above 85 degrees, it won't unlock the torque converter in that situation. So what it will do instead is keep it locked, and that then helps cool the transmission quicker. And the reason they unlock the torque converter is because you get better fuel economy, especially if you're going downhill. But if the whole point is to try and keep your transmission cool, then if it does get into a situation where it's warm, instead automate will keep it locked so it can cool it down quicker. When you're in lockup-mate mode and you take your foot off the accelerator, it doesn't unlock the torque converter, it keeps it locked, and that gives you better engine braking. So if you want to use the gears, the sport shift to slow yourself down on steeper descents, then it will keep the torque converter locked, and you'll get better braking performance from out of the engine, and will also help keep the transmission cool as well. To show you the difference that locking the torque converter makes, I've got a slight uphill slope here. What I'm going to do is currently locked up, I'm going to turn it off. The car's on cruise control at the moment. There you go, it's stabilised now. You can see it's running at about 2600 RPM. I'll turn lockup-mate on. Fourth gear, and you're doing about 1700. I'm in a 100 zone here, so what I'm going to do is take the car up to 100 under some quite firm acceleration, and you'll get to see how it performs. And right at that point, the torque converter's locked up. Changes to fourth, and back off again, and it changes back to fifth. And if, for example, I really put my foot down because I've got to overtake and I want to go quick, it drops back to third gear. Slow down. Automate also retains the feature where if you use your paddles, goes into sport mode and then you stop, it goes back to drive. Well, automate does the same thing, so I'll just change now into the third gear. See the light's gone off, so I know I'm in sports mode. And if I just pull over up here, you'll see that the light will come back on as it goes back into automate once we stop. There we go. The one feature that the automatic transmission has from factory is the off feature, where you pull and hold the right paddle. I'm not able to integrate that feature into the automate, so instead if you're in sports mode and you're driving along, so I'll just put us in sport mode as an example. In order to go back to lockup-mate mode, so automate mode, you just basically go, and now we're back into automate. When you drive with automate on, it does feel different. It isn't the same, so in this situation I'm putting my foot down, actually change gears, but you notice that it doesn't rev up like where the torque converter is unlocked. So it gives you that more direct feeling. So as you put your foot down, you see the RPM doesn't as it changes gears, it just takes the foot down. It just slowly climbs. Exactly the same behaviour as if you were driving it manual. One final test, I'll just do a slow acceleration so you can see what's happening. So right about here, you see there the torque converter locked up, and from now on it's locked. As I just do a gentle acceleration, it's nice and smooth. The gear changes are good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first look at AutoMate.